Hello students, welcome to mathematics class. Students, this is part 3 of the chapter direct and inverse proportion. In this part 3, we will discuss questions from the exercise 13.1. Question number 1, following are the car parking charges near a railway station. Up to 4 hours, charge is rupees 60. For 8 hours, rupees 100 is the charge. For 12 hours, rupees 140 is the charge. For 24 hours, that is for one day, rupees 180 will be charged. Check if the parking charges, it is again, is the parking charges are in direct proportion to the parking time. Are they in direct proportion is the question. If you want to find whether they are in direct proportion or not, we need to identify the corresponding ratio. Is it constant or not? Let us consider number of hours. This column as variable x and corresponding charges as variable y. Now 4 hours becomes x1 and rupees corresponding to that charge will become y1, and 8 hours becomes x2 and rupees 100 becomes y2. Similarly, 12 hours is x3 and corresponding charge will be y3, and for 24 hours that becomes x4 and corresponding value of charge for 24 hours becomes y4. Now if you observe x1 by y1, which is 4 out of or 4 upon 60, it is on cancellation becomes 1 by 15, whereas x2 by y2 is 8 upon 100, on cancellation it becomes 2 upon 25, whereas x3 by y3, that is 12 hours by 140 rupees, on cancellation it becomes 3 upon 35. Do you find x1 by y1 being not equal to x2 by y2, and that is not equals to x3 by y3? It clearly tells that here x1 by y1, that is corresponding ratio of the variables x and y, not equal. Definitely this x and y are not directly proportional. Therefore, variables x and y are not directly proportional. So this is how we check, as 1 by 15 not equals to 2 by 25, and that is not equals to 3 by 35. Obviously, if you go for x 4 upon y4, you may find that is 24 upon 180, on cancellation gives you 2 out of 2 upon 15. See, some student has asked me unitary method, how it is different from direct proportion. See children, you know that if the cost of 1 unit is, let us say rupees 15, cost of 1 unit, let us say rupees 15, then there must be cost of 2 units proportionally increasing, supposed to be 15 into 2. that is rupees 30. Try to observe here in unitary method, whenever we are asked to find cost of some units, we will first find the cost of one unit. Secondly, we will find the cost of how many ever the units that we want from the help of that cost of one unit. That gives us unitary method. Whereas in the case of directly proportional, it is almost similar, but in the case of directly proportional, we need not find the cost of one unit. I am going to show you with the example, but try to observe in this question. Directly proportional and unitary method are almost same, they are same, in fact they are same. Try to observe here, for parking 1 hour he is paying 15 rupees. In the case of first 4 hours sake 60 rupees when he has paid, he is paying rupees 15 for 1 hour. But when it comes to the, when he is paying 180 rupees for 24 hours, that means for the same rupees 15 he paid for the sake of 2 hours. So here one unit cost is not same, so it is one way not directly proportional. You could observe that cost of one unit when it is 15 rupees, it is supposed to be cost of 2 units 30 rupees. If it would be, then similarly cost of 2 units here 30, cost of 3 units 45, then it would have certainly called that they are in directly proportional. So you could see here the variation, cost of 1 unit 15 in one case, and whereas in the other case cost of 2 units being same rupees 15. So not same. So that is how we say these values are not directly proportional. Coming to the next question, you could observe here a mixture of paint prepared by mixing 1 part of red pigments with 8 parts of base in the following table. Find the parts of base that to be added. First of all, more the red pigment parts, more the requirement of parts of base. So here we have more the parts of red pigments, require more parts of base. Therefore, this case is directly proportional. So first we recognize whether they are directly proportional or not. So when this is the case of directly proportional, we know that considering this as x variable and parts of base as y variable, we have x1 by y1 given, and for x2 we can find y2, for x3 we can find y3, for x4 we can find y4, for x5 we can find y5, and anything we can find. One way, here we have got x1 by y1 is equals to x2 by y2, considering x1 as 1, y1 as 8, that is for one part of red pigment 8 parts of base is required. For 4 parts of red pigments we need how much parts of base. So we consider that as y2 variable. It implies y2 is equals to 1 upon or let's say we need a one way cross multiplication. In fact, you know how to simplify this. Here 4 into 8 by 1 will come, in fact, which implies 32 parts of base. So, here y2 value we found. Similarly, you need to find how many parts of 7, how many parts of base is required for 7 parts of red pigments. So, 1 upon 8 is equals to 7 upon y3, where y3 equals to 7 into 8, which gives 56 parts. Here one way I know cost of 1 unit, let us say 8, the cost of 4 units I can find, cost of 7 units I can find, cost of 12 units I can find from the help of cost of 1 unit, that is unitary method. Here without having that unitary value finding, we could straight away find how many parts are required. Suppose, can I use 4 by 32 to find 12 upon y4? Obviously, suppose instead of giving for 1 unit, if they would have given for 4 units, then also I could find as y4 is equals to 12 into 32 upon 4. 4 ones are 4 threes are, so 32 threes are gives you 96. So straight away I can say without finding 1 units, if they give 4 units cost to find 12 units cost, we need not find 1 unit cost. Straight away we are using cost of 4 units only. That is the difference between direct proportion, this formula, and unitary method what you have learnt in class 7, where you are forced to find the cost of 1 unit. I hope you have understood. Viresh has asked me, for his sake I have explained in this video. Coming to the question number 3. In question number 3, that is, it is almost related to the question number 2. In question number 2 above, if one part of red pigment requires 75 ml of base, how much red pigment should we mix with 1800 ml of base? See, here for one part of red pigment requires 75 ml of base, and when we have already 1800 ml of base, how much part of red pigments, how many parts or how much parts of red pigment base, red pigments required? So here let us consider X parts of red pigment is required for the 1800 ml of base. Okay, with that, since in question number 2 we have already said that direct proportion x1 by y1 is equals to x2 by y2. So 1 by 75 ml is equals to x2 by 1800 ml. So it implies by direct cross multiplication, you know how to solve that. 1 into 1800 ml upon 75 ml will come. So here one way ml will not influence, they will get cancelled in fact, and if you cancel here 75 24s are, if you want you can cancel slowly, 5 1s are and 5 5s are, that means 5 15s are 75 and 5 3s are 15, 3 comes here 30, 5 6 are and 0 comes. Now 15 1s are, 15 2s are 30, 60 comes here carries and 60 it is 4s are. So 75 24s are 1800. Therefore, we have 24 red pigment parts. How much red pigment parts should we mix? Parts to be mixed with the 1800 ml of base. So, this is how we solve this question. Coming to the question number 4, a mission in a soft drink factory fills 840 bottles in 6 hours. How many bottles will it fill in 5 hours? See, in this case of question, you need to identify whether they are directly proportional or not. See, more the bottles requires more time to fill. Okay, so more the number of bottles, require more time to fill. Therefore, this case is directly proportional. So, first you identified whether they are directly proportional or not. After identifying them that they are directly proportional, you form a table containing 1 number of bottles, another number of hours, or you can say time. So, I am taking one as variable x, another as variable y, and variable x is in number, variable y is in hours. So, for 840 bottles you need 6 hours, and in 5 hours how many bottles can you fill? This is the question. So, if I consider this as x1, then 6 hours becomes y1, and then how many bottles becomes x2, and 5 hours becomes y2. So, here x1 is 840 bottles, corresponding value number of hours becomes 6 hours as y1, x2 to be found, and y2 becomes 5 hours. And since the case is directly proportional, we have formula x1 by y1 equals to x2 by y2. By substituting these values, 840 by 6 equals to x2 by 5. On cross multiplication, 840 into 5 by 6 will give you x2. Now you cancel them. 6 ones are 6, 2 carries 24, 6 fours are 24, and 0 comes as it is. Now 140 into 5, which is 700, is x2 bottle. Therefore, 700 bottles can be filled or will be filled. Okay, will be filled in 5 hours. So, this is how we solve. Okay. Now, coming to the question number 5. A photograph of bacteria is enlarged 50,000 times to attain a length of 5 centimeters. as shown in diagram. What is the actual length of the bacteria? So, when you enlarge for 50,000 times using microscope, then the length is 5 centimeters. If you want to find out actual length, then you need to divide 5 centimeters by 50,000, which gives 1 upon 10,000 centimeter, on converting it into the exponents 10 to the power minus 4 centimeters will be the actual length. Is the actual length of the bacteria. Now, to find out if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, what will be the enlarged length? So, for this we will go with a table or a same, we have number of times enlarged becomes one variable and enlarged length becomes another variable. So, if you take for 50,000 times when it is enlarged 5 centimeters, for 20,000s what would be the enlarged length? If you use this way table, we will get, more the times it is enlarged or less the times it is enlarged. So, one variable increases or decreases causes increment or decrement similarly. So, here decreased, enlarged length must also be decreased. So, it is the case of directly proportional, we will confirm it. So, 5,000 or 50,000 by 5 equals to 20,000 by y2. It implies y2 equals to 20,000 into 5 by 50,000. So, 4 zeros will get cancelled, 5 get cancels. So, we will get 2 centimeters. This is how we solve. You need to write properly. I just scribbling it for the sake of making you to understand, that is it. I am not writing entire the solution. Kindly rightly present the solution as it is required for the sake of gaining full marks. Now, coming to the question number 6. In a model of ship, the mast, see this mast is nothing but this portion. This portion is called mast. Normally, this mast decides the direction that this ship moving. The ship, if you want to move, the mast direction will be changed. Okay, it is a wind, based on the wind, mast will be taking you in the direction. So, while the mast of the actual ship is 12 meter high, in the model it is 9 centimeter. So, one way height of the mast in model it is HEIGHT, 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 height of the mast I can see here actual height. Let me write once again properly. It's height of the mast. in a model ship becomes one variable, actual height of the mast, mast as another variable. So, when I consider for 9 centimeter, this is there in centimeters, this is there in meters. Okay. When it is 9 centimeter, 12 meter high. Now, for 28 meters, what would be the length? So, its model is always scaled down lengths of actual lengths. Height is also one sort of a length only. Here we have in this table, more the length in the actual gives more the length in mast, more the length in model of that. So, 9 out of 12 should be equals to x2 upon 28. To find out x2, 9 into 28 by 12. So, 3 3s are 3 4s are 4 7s are. So, 7 3s are 21 centimeter will be the length of the ship. Is the length of the ship. I can say is the length of the model ship. Is the length of the model ship. It is not actual, it is a model ship. This is how we solve it. Now, coming to the question number 7. Suppose 2 kg sugar contains 9 into 10 power 6 crystals. How many sugar crystals are there in 5 kg of sugar? See, again, when we go for more the number of kgs of or more the weight of the sugar, more the number of crystals in it. So, weight of sugar in kg, it becomes variable x. Number of crystals, it becomes y. Now, for 2 kg, 9 into 10 power 6. For 5 kg, how much? For 1.2 kg, how much? So, considering more the this case is of directly proportional. So, 2 upon 9 into 10 power 6 is equals to 5 upon y2. y2 will be found like cross multiplication 5 into 9 into 10 power 6 by 2. So, 2 1s are 2 4.5s are 4.5s by 2 value 4.5 into 5. 4.5 into 5 is 22.5 into 10 power 6. Always this k should be between 1 and 10. It is more than 10. To make it between 1 and 10, the point is to be shifted here. So, 2.25 that gives into 10 power 6, it means 2.25 into 10 power 7 crystals will be there in 5 kg of sugar. So, this is how we find. In 1.2 kg, if you find out, so 2 upon 9 into 10 power 6 equals to 1.2 upon y3, and y3 equals to 1.2 into 9 into 10 power 6 upon 2 to 0.6 are. So, 0.6 into 9 gives 5.4 into 10 power 6. So, straight away you got, which is between 1 and 10. So, you need not do any modifications for the exponent of 10. So, the answer is 5.4 into 10 power 6 number of crystals are there in 1.2 kg of sugar. You can write conclusion like this. Now, coming to the question number 9. Rashmi has a road map with a scale of 1 centimeter representing 18 kilometers. She drives on a road for 72 kilometers. What would be her distance covered in the map? You know, map is a scale down measurements of actual length. So, draw a table, and a table containing scale 1 centimeter gives 18 kilometers, and for 72 kilometers how much is the scale down length in the map. So, after drawing table you will be realizing that 1 by 18 equals to x2 by 72, and x2 will be 72 into 1 by 18, 18 ones are, and 18 fours are. Therefore, x2 will become 4 centimeter. You can write the conclusion. Here I am giving question number 9 and question number 10 as a homework for you. Question number 9, note down this question number 9. It has got 2 parts. This is question number 10. Pause the screen and note down this question. These questions 9 and 10 are both important. Solve them on your own. With this, I will wind up this session. Jai Hind. Thank you.